Yep, 1212, check.
Can we get your
Everyone
name and
hear
title?
me? Sure. Everyone ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. I'm Sergeant Vincent Cole with the Phoenix Police Public Affairs Bureau. My first name is Vincent, V-I-N-C-E-N-T. My last name is Cole, C-O-L-E. Okay. This morning around 10:15, Phoenix Police responded to the area of 51st Avenue in Baseline about a shooting. Our officers got here and located a 16-year-old male who had sustained a gunshot wound within a fast food restaurant. That male died from his injuries on scene, and our officers, in conducting interviews with witnesses, learned that that male was involved in an altercation with another male we believe to be known to him prior to the shooting. That male has since left the area on foot. This is early on in the investigation. Our detectives are actively working the scene to try to figure out what led up to it and get more of the finer points of the details.
He's still on the loose then, sir, the shooter?
There is a person that we're of interest that we're looking for.
Can you describe the person who you're looking for?
At this time, we have limited information. We'll be releasing more as it becomes available. But again, our detectives are still trying to work to figure out those finer points.
So this wasn't a customer, at McDonald's that opened fire?
It was a male that was known to the victim.
Teenager, can you say, sir? Is he another teenager?
At this point, we're not going to be releasing any details about that suspect
Do we know
or a
what the
person of interest.
do we know what the altercation was about?
We don't know, and they're still interviewing witnesses and things like that to try to find that.
Victim is it's an employee of the McDonald's? Or?
The victim is an employee of the McDonald's.
That was what I was going to ask.
Yep.
What part of the store did all this happen in?
It happened in the restroom of the store.
How many gunfires were shot?
I apologize, I don't have that info.
Can you tell us, sir, you believe the altercation happened in the restroom as well? Or prior to the whole thing?
Preliminary information from the witnesses is that the altercation occurred in the restroom,
And that's where the shooting.
and that's where the shooting was of the restaurant.
Were there any customers inside the McDonald's at the time?
There were witnesses, and again, our detectives are working to speak to them and interview them. Again, early on, so they're still conducting those interviews.
We saw a family standing around here. Do you know if that was the family of the victim?
I don't. I'm not certain who they were here for.
The witnesses get some sort of special people to talk to after something like this with the department, or do they handle that on their own?
The city of Phoenix offers services to victims and families of victims of crimes.
How many customers were inside the McDonald's, though?
You know, I couldn't speculate as to how many people were inside of the business when this occurred.
Did the person who found the 16-year-old in the bathroom, did they render any aid, anything like that?
I'm not certain exactly how that went in, but they ultimately called the police department and we responded.
Do we know if the suspect who is out there by foot, is he known to law enforcement? Is it a he? Is it a she?
It's a male, and as far as his prior instances or involvement with law enforcement in general, I think they're still trying to nail some of that down.
Was the weapon left on scene or taken with, or is it not on scene?
I'm not sure what the status of the weapon is.
Just sorry for pushing, but anything about the altercation, like these guys were not a drug deal gone wrong, or maybe they were in a fight over something from school or girlfriend, any hint you can give us on that?
I think that our detectives are trying to establish that now themselves to try to figure out what exactly led up to this. Apart from them being known to each other, it's still preliminary as far as the details of that interaction.
Is there a threat to the community right now in this large shopping plaza?
We don't believe there's any threat to the community.
Suspect is not an employee of the McDonald's, just to make sure.
Again, we're not releasing too many details on the suspect at this time.
Is it possible that the suspect works here as well?
Again, we're not going to be, it's part of the investigation, and that's what we're trying to sew up some of those details.
Is there any surveillance footage, anything inside of the suspect that you guys are reviewing?
Detectives are looking, anytime there's a scene like this, they look at all angles. Surveillance is obviously a portion of that, and that's what we're working on now. Again, still early on in the investigation, so that's what they're trying to come up with.
Sir, do you anticipate giving us a description of the suspect at any time? Or?
As information becomes available, I'll put out, there'll be an advisory, I'll put out some more additional information once it becomes available.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the other people who work here? Are they okay? Are they getting help?
There were no other injuries that were sustained as a result of this incident. And to the other question you had asked, we have services that the city can provide in instances like these.
A lot of the people that we've seen sitting outside, likely employees. I mean, they're young. Assume that they were working there.
I'm sorry. What was your question?
I'm asking, these are young employees who were inside. So to his question about, is there any services to help these young employees?
Right, and
likely their first jobs.
anytime there's an instance of a crime of this magnitude, it can be traumatic for people who are involved or are near it. We take that into consideration with making sure that they have services that available to them that they need.
I know, anytime there's a shooting victim, it's not easy for your officers, but this is a 16-year-old. How do your officers handle this kind of situation?
Well, first and foremost, our thoughts are always with the person's family, regardless of their age. This is a call that's unfortunately law enforcement has to deal with. These are the types of things we see. For the officers, the Phoenix Police Department has several different types of services that we can provide internally to our employees as well. And that's not just our officers, that's our crime scene technicians, that's our dispatchers.
Sergeant, is he still in there, and how long do you think he'll be out investigating?
I anticipate we'll be out here for a considerable amount of time. For the foreseeable future, this area is going to be restricted.
Can you tell us if the deceased is still inside?
I'm not certain if he is or not.
Do we know what direction the suspect went by foot? This plaza, towards the road? I mean, anything to help our viewers, help you guys?
Well, and to that point, I wanted to encourage anybody who had any information on this to contact us directly, or to contact Silent Witness if they wish to remain anonymous. To answer your specific question about direction, I don't have that information as to which way he went, but we are encouraging anybody with information on this to contact us directly, or again, if they want to remain anonymous through Silent Witness.
You said fled on foot, though?
Fled the area on foot.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry.
You don't get a runoff yet. Come on, man.
Forgot.
Maybe
I don't know who's
flip
it.
on,
Yeah, just who's.